one of my favorite shows out, and it's a guilty pleasure of mine. All right, is P Valley. All right. Now we talked about it in the beginning of the season. We talked about it, and we had Will Leaf Major League on. That was the beginning of the season. Now it's progressing. It's progressing. We're closing in.
This is season two of the show.
Yeah. We're closing in on the finale of season 2, and season 2 has had a lot more of sexual activities between these two men.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and a lot of men early on in season 2, very turned off by it, and really in middle of season 1, because we were doing a lot of kissing and stuff. Season 1, season 2, they went.
So
to
it's
the
just
next
sort
level.
of progressed up.
They went to the next level.
You had some mid-season kissing, and now you've got season 2.
Full blown everything.
Okay.
And it's turned a lot of men off, and a lot of men saying, "I'm not gonna watch this, not gonna watch," and they continue to talk about it. And I think they do because maybe the women that they're with and social media as well is always talking about it, and the women that we're probably is always watching it. All right, but for me, I am so impressed with the character Lil Murda. This is the best, and I'm not even like over exaggerating. It's probably the best acting job I've seen. It's the best acting job I've seen in a long time.
Really?
And it's everything. It's his mannerisms, his facial expressions, how it looks, he's into it. It looks real. It's his accent that he's portraying, this deep southern accent. It's the whole 9 yards into one package. And that's why I love this show.
In context, kind of what is this character? What Lil
Murda is on the show. He's a local rapper that ends up becoming a big rapper, a big rap artist, and he kind of uses the strip club, which is the whole show is centered around the strip club. He kind of uses the strip club to get on. So that's he's trying to get in the strip club, trying to get his song played in season 1. He gets that, and then he kind of propels into the star. So, but at the same time, he's in the closet. He's in the closet.
I was gonna say, so he's also involved in homosexual activity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the twist on that.
And is that like something? I was gonna say, is that something that kind of plays into his career arc, and that he needs to conceal that to maximize his popularity?
So he has
as
a team around. He ends up getting a team around him, and it's only like 1 or 2 team members that know his truth, and they do everything they can to conceal that fact.
And when you were commenting, you enjoyed his facial expressions. Was that during the
everything
homosexual acts as well?
It includes that as well.
Okay,
it includes that as well.
I'm
like, because this is a Uncle Cliff is he's an actual gay man, and he's not even that. He's a good solid actor. He's a good solid actor, but he's not. It's nothing like game changing. This guy, he's far and away the best actor on the show, and you could just see, because in real life, he has a wife. He has that's not his accent. You learn more about him if you watch him, but he addressed the negativity and the comments surrounding his character, and I wanted to show that here. He went on IG Live and talked a little bit about it. This is just maybe a minute and a half of it. Here it goes right here.
I see how hard they making it, or trying to anyway, for a fictional character, for Lil Murda. You see how kind of people are throwing out different things. Imagine how hard it is for your brother or sister and everyone all in between who gotta live that on a daily, who gotta feel like they can't be themselves, and you know what I'm saying? So just take that into perspective, try to love on people, man. Try to be a light in somebody's life, man, not a dark spot, not a strain on their heart or on their soul. Don't pull nobody's soul down. Well, y'all know Beyonce, I wasn't trying to bring that in, no pun intended, but yeah, please don't break nobody's soul, man, because everybody's not built for what that takes, and so just you gotta keep that in mind. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, thank God.
So he's talking a little bit about that there, and it's true. That's the first thing people need to realize it's a fictional show. It's a fictional character. Now, you like what you like. That's your taste. If you don't like the show, you don't like watching that in shows and stuff like that. You think they put it in everything these days. Blah blah blah. Of course, that's your business. Everybody has their taste of shows that they like. But the point I'm making is not to be so drawn away just because of that activity on the show, because it's grade A acting. You know what I mean? If that's not your thing, that's not your thing. It's not my fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it for what it is, which is awesome acting. Will Smith, one of his early roles, I don't know if you watched that movie. One of his early roles, he played a gay man, and he had to be with the man.
I forget the name of that
in the movie and stuff like that. And similar to that, Will Smith did a great damn job. He was a young actor. This is a young actor taking this role. I'm not saying he's going to become fucking Will Smith, but I'm not going to bet against it. Yeah, I'm not going to bet against it. I'm dead ass serious. This guy's fucking amazing. And similar to Will Smith, he does music on the side. There's some similarities.
Two questions now. Has this actor had like other roles of significance in other projects?
He's a young actor still.
So he hasn't had any other significant roles?
He comes from not necessarily Broadway, almost like Tyler Perry, like how they do stage shows. That's where he comes from. That's where he comes from.
Okay. And then my thing is the point that he's making highlights the value of representation.
Yeah.
And in this instance, it's representation of gay and lesbian community, and those people being seen as complete characters, and that's the way it is in life.
Yeah.
And there's value there, and sometimes it's representation with African Americans, with people of color, with and representation is important. It's not the be all and end all.
Right.
It's important that there are projects and things that are deeply rooted in, cultural things that cut beyond the surface. But representation is important because for a lot of people, you may not interact with a homosexual person or a lesbian in your personal life directly. And by maybe seeing it in a show, you see the completeness of it. Mm-hmm. That this is a human life that, has certain tastes that maybe you don't. But there's a person there. And I think that's kind of what he was talking about. And that's the value of having these things in shows. And you do hear all the time, every show's got to have a gay character or a gay storyline. And it's like, every show doesn't need it. That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
But you're typically saying that because you're rejecting any presentation of it in any way. And that's wrong. That's not, these are people. They need to be accepted as that and embraced as that. And when you do that, we all grow.
Right.
You can. This guy, by playing this character, assuming he's not actually a closeted homosexual person, he's grown immensely from playing this role.
Yes.
Because now he has this perspective that he didn't have before he accepted this role.
Right.
And that's going to change his life forever.
Yeah.
And it'll change the people around him forever. And for a lot of people that will watch that show and not reject it simply because that homosexual sex is involved, they'll grow. You'll grow if you let yourself grow. And I think that's what you got to take out of a lot of these situations.
Exactly. That's it. So yeah, I'm locked in to his career. That's where my mind is at now. Like, I wonder, because I'm sure he has a manager, like the next big role he takes is so important, because you don't want to get typecast. And you don't you want to go bigger from here. Like Will Smith went bigger from that movie.
Well, see that's an interesting question, because and I remember reading about Will Smith, his team and him, they looked and kind of did some calculations that the highest box office grossing movies in history were kind of like these sci-fi things, and he went into a whole phase of his career where that's all he did.
Yeah.
And when he did that, he lost me. I don't like that genre, and I don't think there's great acting in that genre. I don't think it's required.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in those sci-fi things, there's so many
many
other elements to those films that draw attention and attract attention.
Yeah.
But I hope he does something that allows him to show the acting talent.
Yeah,
that's not so much that.
Show his range.
And not, again, another choice you get is like, you don't necessarily want to get, particularly early in your career, where you're going into movies that just stand on you. Like you want to be in some ensemble cast work where you kind of stand out and shine among other actors,
Right.
you know, and play some diversified roles and really be a guy that people look at, you know, 3-4 years from now and go, this dude's great in everything he sees.
Yeah.
You know, and then you earn those project movies where where Denzel is, where it's just him, you know, being him, and we all love it, you know.
Yeah.
But do the work early in your career. Take on some different things. Be in some ensemble stuff. Be in some stuff that's gonna show, you know, your acting talent, not just, you know, sci-fi nonsense or action movies and whatever.
Exactly. And again, that's
I'm available for a consulting or career. acting.